UFC 286, Edwards versus Usman 3 takes place this weekend. And I am going to go through the entire card. Yes, me, keep it real MMA. The most handsome man in the world. I am going to go from the early prelims all the way up to the main event. And I'm going to give thoughts, reaction, breakdowns. And I'm just going to give as detailed picks as I can and help you guys if any of you are betters. Or just have some fun and see how many picks I can get right. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. And let's just get straight into it. So, first fight on the card. Giuliana Miller versus Veronica Macedo. I'm going to go with Giuliana Miller by decision. I think Veronica... The problem with Veronica is she's just way too inactive. Like, I'll even bring her up now. Hold on. Veronica. Mainly bringing her up because she's pretty good to look at, you know. Not fighting wise, because women are terrible at fighting, but she's pretty good to look at, you know. Just look at. Ooh. Anyway, she's 6-4-1. That's all you need to know about her record. Right. So right, where is it? Yeah. Right. She lost to Ashley Evans-Smith by elbows in the third round, right? That was back in 2016. She then took 2 years off and came back and fought Andrea Lee and lost in 2018. Then lost to Gillian Robertson in 2019, so a year off. And then beat Pauliana Viana, good win, in 2019, so the same year. But then she didn't fight for the rest of 2019. To be fair, she had bouts cancelled against Rachel Ostovich, which she probably would have won. Ariana Lipski, which she probably might have won at the time. And then Amanda Lemos, which she would have lost. And then she didn't fight again until 2020, where she lost to Bea Malecki. And she hasn't fought since. So she's taken 3 years off. She's just so inactive. And it's crazy. And Giuliana Miller obviously is coming off that win on the Ultimate Fighter. She's not very experienced, but she's pretty experienced in the amateur scene. I feel like wrestling's going to be a bit strong for Veronica, not allow her to get her submissions off. And I got Giuliana Miller by 30-27 decision. And I think the time off is going to affect Veronica again. But hey, she's a good-looking girl, so it's all good. Anyway, next fight on the card. Jai Herbert versus Ludwig Klein. Jai Herbert is a plus 135 underdog. Ludwig Klein's a minus 155 favourite. These odds are according to UFC website, by the way, so, yeah. I'm going to go with Ludwig Klein by first round KO. I don't know why I put my hood up, but yeah. I'm going to pick Ludwig Klein by first round KO. Jai Herbert, man, I just can't rely on him to win fights anymore, man. He's just... The chin is just not there. And the thing is, bro, he's not a terrible fighter, man. He's very technical on the feet. He looks very good. Obviously, he picked up a decent win in his last fight. Like, he's a very technical guy. But the problem is, you connect flush on his chin, he's going out. And the guy with Ludwig Klein, man, he's got some power. Got great power in his hands, and he's very good, man. Obviously, coming off that win against Mason Jones, I believe. Very, very good on the feet. Very quick. Fast hands. He dropped Mason Jones one time with it. He's very good. And I just think Jai Herbert, man, he's just so fucking chinny. So chinny. And it's hard to pick a guy like that, you know what I'm saying? So and the thing is, it's not just that. Like, he's very technical. He's very good at what he does. But the problem is he leaves himself open a lot as well. He's very slow bringing his hands up to his chin. That's the exact reason why Ilia Topuria knocked him out. Because he's having his hands low, and then he brings them up so slow, and Topuria's already over the top. Boom, lands straight on his chin. Put him out cold. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I got Ludwig Klein by first round KO. I think he's gonna catch him with a hook. Next fight on the card doesn't have odds for some reason. Joanne Wood versus Luana Carolina. I'm gonna go with Joanne Wood by 30-27 decision. She's better than Luana Carolina, man. Like, Joanne Wood, she's only losing to the best, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's losing to girls like Shit, sorry, my fucking thing, I just blanked out then. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, she's losing to Murphy. She's losing to who else did she? Which was a robbery, by the way. She clearly beat her. It was a fucking robbery, but still, it's a loss here. Alexa Grasso, who's now the champ, so it's nothing to be ashamed about. And I think she beats a bottom feeder like Luana Carolina, who lost to fucking Molly McCann. So that's all you need to know. I think she's going to get the grappling going, get the striking going, and just pick her apart for 3 rounds. So I got Joanne Wood by 30-27 decision. Maybe a 29-28, but I'd say 30-27. Next fight on the card, Jake Hadley versus Malcolm Gordon. Jake Hadley's a minus 380 favourite. Malcolm Gordon's a plus 310 underdog. I am going to go with Jake Hadley. His last fight, he finally showed what he was capable of. Obviously, his debut went very terribly, but he looked really good in his last fight. He looked really good. He looked very composed. He got his grappling off, got his striking off. He just looked good. And I just feel like Malcolm Gordon's the type of guy, he had kind of good success against Makhachev. But obviously he has that big hole in his game with the grappling. And I feel like Jake Hadley will be able to expose it. Will be able to expose it with his striking combinations to mix up into the grappling. And I just think Malcolm Gordon just doesn't have what it takes to prevent that. And I just feel like Jake Hadley's going to get a second round submission. I think he's going to get an arm triangle choke. So yeah, I got Jake Hadley by second round arm triangle choke submission. I just realized I'm going through these quite quick. Sorry, but yeah. Next one on the card, Christian Leroy Duncan versus Dusko Todorovic. No odds on this fight for some reason, but I am going to go with Christian Leroy Duncan. Dusko relies on people slowing down and being very wild and slowing down so he can finish him or eventually win the decision. But a guy like Christian Leroy Duncan is not going to go crazy. He's not going to go nuts, and he's not going to gas out like that. Christian Leroy Duncan has fought some very good opponents throughout his career, to be honest with you. And I got to be honest, like he's a very dangerous guy, and he's a good UK prospect. And someone like Dusko, man, I don't think he has the talent or the skill to really expose anything in Christian's game. So I feel like Christian Leroy Duncan's just going to get it done by 30-27. I don't think he's going to KO Dusko by any means, but I just feel like he's not going to play into Dusko's game. The reason Dusko's beating people like Joan Wright, all these people, is because they're gassing out so quickly. And the thing is like they got a round of fighting them, and then Dusko just cleans them up because they gassed out. And the thing is like these fighters, he's fighting 8 UFC caliber guys, man, in his middleweight, so they're all fucking terrible anyway, because all middleweights outside the top 10 are fucking shite. But it is what it is. So I got Christian Leroy Duncan by 30-27 decision. I think he'll get it done quite dominantly too. So yeah. Last fight of the early prelims, Leron Murphy versus Gabriel Santos. I'm going to go with Leron Murphy by 29-28 decision. Now, I think Murphy's pretty good. I would pick Gabriel Santos, but this is on short notice, and he hasn't got the greatest gas tank in the world. So I'm going to go with Leron Murphy by 29-28. I feel like he's going to lose the first round, but I feel like the second and third round he's going to settle in while he's got the advantage of cardio, obviously. And I just feel like he's going to beat the short notice opponent with not a great gas tank as it is, and just beat them over the 3 rounds. Last 2 rounds, just take over, clip him here and there. Maybe even drop him, maybe even get a finish. I don't know, but you never know. But I think Leron Murphy's got this in the bag. I think he's going to be pretty smart with it, with his striking, pretty smart with his grappling, and I just feel like he'll get it done as the rounds go by. Not the easiest fight in the world, man, because Gabriel Santos, you can clip him in the first. He's very dangerous, but I think Leron Murphy got it down. So yeah, I got Leron Murphy by 29-28 decision. First fight on the prelims, Muhammad Makhachev versus Raphael Filhau. There's no odds on this fight. There's only one fight. The last fight of the prelims with odds, okay? So I'm going to go with Muhammad Makhachev by second round rear naked choke. I think his grappling is going to be a bit too strong. If you're looking at technicality with the Charles Johnson fight, man, he kind of lost that fight. He didn't look great, man. He couldn't control Johnson at all, and Johnson was the only one landing damage, really. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a hard fight, but I can see why you give it to Makhachev. But I mean, since then, man, he's just shown that he has great grappling, very, very fast, very good at mixing it in if he absolutely has to. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like his grappling's going to be a bit too much for Raphael. So, and the thing is, like, Raphael's pretty good, man. He's not a terrible fighter. Obviously, they're flyweight, so they're very technical. Obviously 14-2 from Brazil. So it's one of those. But I think what Muhammad Makhachev is just going to show why he's, so touted. And the thing is, he's going to make rapid improvements because he has no choice to, because obviously he said that he doesn't want to have a long career. He just wants to get his money, become champion, get his money and get out. Which is fair enough if that's what you want to do. So if he wants to do that, obviously he's going to have to pass these tests and then get on to the higher ranking guys. He's ranked number 12 according to the UFC website, which is interesting. But I feel like after this fight, he's going to have to fight up, and then he's just going to get to the title as quickly as he can. I think he's 22 years old, I believe. So, yeah, I got Muhammad Makhachev by second round rear naked choke. Next fight on the card, Sam Patterson versus ONeill Ashmoz. I'm going to go with Sam Patterson by decision, 29-28. I feel like his striking will get it done as the fight goes on. It's not much to say about this fight, but I gotta be honest, man, I don't think ONeill is at the level of Sam Patterson. I feel like ONeill's pretty good, though, but I think Sam Patterson got it in the bag. I mean, it's not like a domination factor. I just think he gets it done 29-28, where maybe he loses the second or third round. But I just feel like he got it down. I feel like he's a very composed guy on the feet, and I just think that he'll get it done. So yeah, 29-28. Sam Patterson. There's not much to say about the fight. It's not the easiest fight in the world to pick, but yeah. Next fight on the card, Chris Duncan versus Omar Morales. I'm going to go with Chris Duncan by TKO in the third round. Chris Duncan is very resilient, and I feel like he's going to walk through the fire with Omar, and I feel like he's going to be the one coming out with his hand raised. I think he's very, very, very good. But at the same time, he didn't look great on the Contender Series. But at the same time, man, if you understood the amount of weight cuts he had back to back to back to back, it's understandable. And I feel like, on a full camp, healthy, normal weight cut, and then rehydrate, which isn't healthy, of course, the weight cut, but you know what I mean, and then rehydrate, and then ready to go again. I feel like he's going to get it done. I don't see what Omar can really do too badly. I just feel like Chris Duncan's going to get it done. He's a very dangerous guy himself, got decent power. I got Chris Duncan by third round TKO. I think he's going to catch him in the third and pressure him, but belt it with the pressure as well. So yeah. Last fight of the prelims, Jack Shaw versus Makwan Americani. I could barely say his name. Makwan Americani. I got Jack Shaw by second round Darce choke. The problem with Makwan is he only has a round of fighting him with his style of pace. He is very, very, very fast. He's going to be very dangerous in the first round, and I feel like he can nick the first round off of Jack Shaw. But the problem with Jack Shaw, the problem against fighting a guy like Jack Shaw is very composed, very calm, and he's got very good cardio. And the thing is, like, Jack Shaw, he's the type of guy, like, even when he got dropped by Ricky Simon, he was very calm in the way that he landed down. So he's not a panicker. And he's going to be able to survive Makwan's heavy sub attempts as the fight goes on. And I feel like by the halfway through the second round, Makwan's going to be completely gassed, and Jack Shaw's just going to take advantage of it and just get a Darce choke in the second with Makwan trying to shoot the double leg, and he's just going to get choked out. The odds are quite big, but I trust in Jack Shaw to survive the first round and get a second round Darce choke. So yeah, I got Jack Shaw by second round Darce choke. Don't let me down, Jack. As a fellow man from Cymru, please get it done. Yeah. First fight on the main card, Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze. Marvin Vettori's a minus 265 favourite. Roman Dolidze's a plus 225 favourite. I'm going to go with Marvin Vettori. Roman Dolidze is very overrated. And I know it's going to shock a lot of you. And I know I'm not picking against him just because he's Georgian and I went on that whole rant about Marab, the fucking cliff-dwelling inbred cunt. But Vettori is not going to be a guy that Roman's going to outstrike or outgrapple. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. And keep it real MMA for a reason, right? There's no chance he takes down Marvin Vettori. He's not taking down Marvin Vettori. And he's not holding Marvin Vettori against the cage for the entire fight. Right? There's been instances where you look at the Jack Hermansson fight, right? He could not outstrike Jack Hermansson and he couldn't get him to the ground. Jack Hermansson was picking him apart and for some reason Jack Hermansson made a retarded decision and tried to take him down, ended up on the bottom and got finished. Right? Marvin Vettori, as much as he's a stupid orc, I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to actually come in with a decent game plan, and I think he's going to follow it. Because I think that loss to Whittaker really humbled him. That was the first time he lost his decision, and I actually believed that he lost and didn't be delusional about it. That's how bad Whittaker whooped his fucking ass. So I think Vettori's going to be very composed. I think Vettori beat Jack Hermansson on short notice looking good over 5 rounds when he was supposed to go 3 rounds with a different fighter. And he dropped Jack Hermansson in the first. He looked very good. And the thing is, yeah, he's not going to stand on the outside. Like, he's a very basic striker, but I feel like that's enough to beat Dolidze. Dolidze's trash on the feet. He knocked out the chiniest guy at middleweight in Phil Hawes. And I just feel like Marvin Vettori's going to get it done. 30-27, I think he's going to be dominant. So I go Marvin Vettori. This isn't going to age badly, so shut up, see. I can hear you already. It's all good. Next one on the card. Jennifer Meyer versus Casey ONeill. Jennifer Meyer is a plus 150 underdog. Casey ONeill's Bilal Muhammad. No, Casey ONeill is a minus 175 favorite. I'm gonna go with Bilal Muhammad. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna go with granny face Jennifer Meyer. Casey ONeill's last fight, I can't get it out of my head because she didn't look that good against Roxanne Modafferi, man. She didn't look great, and it's Roxanne, you know what I mean? And you know, I don't know, she didn't look great. It's Roxanne, you know what I mean? She didn't look great, you know what I mean? And Jennifer Meyer is not the type of girl you can just willingly take down and not pay attention. She's gonna sub you. She's very good at boxing. She took a round off of Valentina when Valentina actually fought like a man, not a woman. But Jennifer Meyer is very good and she's very technical, and I feel like she still got it to the degree to beat somebody like Casey ONeill. Even though I thought Meyer definitely lost her last fight, but she still got crisp boxing. She looked very good. So for a women's fighter anyway, I don't think Casey ONeill will score it. I really don't know. Most people are picking her, and she's even the favourite. But if she was the underdog, I'd consider Casey ONeill. But Jennifer Meyer's the underdog, so I got Jennifer Meyer. I think Casey ONeill, you know, Bilal Muhammad's sister, I don't see her getting it done. So I got granny face Jennifer Meyer. Next fight on the card, Gunnar Nelson versus Brian Barberena. Gunnar Nelson's a minus 380 favourite. Brian Barberena's a plus 310 underdog. I'm going with the big favourite in Gunnar Nelson. Brian Barberena got completely exposed in his last fight. Completely exposed by Raphael dos Anjos, who's a fucking great grappler in his own right. But he got completely exposed. He's vulnerable to every single trip in the book. Vulnerable to every... I was itching my leg. He's very vulnerable to every type of takedown imaginable. His ground game is whack. It's trash. And I feel like a very, very, very technical and safe grappler like Gunnar Nelson is going to get it done. He's going to find the takedown, and I believe he's going to get a first-round rear naked choke against Brian Barberena. Brian Barberena looks absolutely lost. You know, like when I was 5 in those fucking shopping centres. He looks completely lost, like 5-year-old me. He looks very lost. He looks very confused when he hits the ground, especially when he comes up against a good grappler, like Raphael dos Anjos. So I just feel like a person like Gunnar Nelson is going to very much expose that, and it's going to be a very boring fight. Don't get me wrong, it shouldn't be that high up on the card because it's going to be a very boring fight because Gunnar Nelson isn't going to scrap with Brian Barberena. He's going to dance on the outside until he finds his opening for the takedown. So yeah, I got Gunnar Nelson by first round rear naked choke. I think he's going to get it done. So yeah. Next fight, on to the co-main event. Justin Gaethje versus Raphael Fiziev. Justin Gaethje's a plus 195 underdog. Raphael Hasbulla Fiziev is a minus 230 favourite. I'm going to go with Raphael Fiziev. I'm going to make a more in-depth breakdown. But Justin Gaethje just... he's getting up there in age. And he's so vulnerable to body shots. And he's not going to take down Raphael Fiziev. He's not going to attempt takedowns. And I feel like that's going to be his detriment. Fiziev has shown now you can go 5 rounds. So, get into the 5th round before he KO'd Dos Anjos. But he showed that he can go 5. He can go to the 5th round and be okay. So I feel like 3-round fight, he's going to dial her in now and his cardio is going to be okay. And Justin Gaethje, man, I don't think the leg kicks are going to do much. I think Fiziev's going to see him come in. And I think he's just going to outkick Justin Gaethje until he finishes Gaethje with a shot up to the chin in the 3rd round. I think Gaethje's going to be so worried about the body shots as Fiziev is drilling hard kicks to the body, knees to the body. Being very, very active, very, being very, I don't know what to say, like very, very elusive. He's very switch heavy. Good at the spinning kicks too, and I feel like he's just gonna eventually wear on Gaethje's body until he's so worried about it in the 3rd and then just get KO'd. Because Gaethje doesn't actually have the greatest cardio, if you remember correctly. Now, it's a tough fight for both, but I feel like Fiziev has just got it in the bag. So I got Fiziev by 3rd round KO. I generally do, or TKO, whatever. Either way, I think Gaethje's going down. On to the main event. Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman. Leon Edwards is a plus 195 underdog. Kamaru Usman's a minus 230 favourite. Same odds as the co-main event. Right, for those of you guys don't know, I have had a terrible year so far in picking main events. Terrible year. I'm going to go more in-depth breakdown on this fight. I picked Leon Edwards in the 2nd fight. For those who don't know, I did pick Leon Edwards in the 2nd fight. I picked him and he won. Right? Not the way I expected him to win. I got Leon Edwards again. I think he's going to KO Usman again. I think he's going to KO him in the 4th round. I think it's going to be a 4th round KO. I think Usman is going to be done. I think he's done. And it's one of those fights where this is either going to age like fine wine or this is going to age like fucking cheese. Not cheese, like fucking milk. Right? This is either going to be wine or milk. I think in my whole heart, I believe Leon Edwards is going to KO the steroid munching, corrupt dad as a pharmacist, cheating fuck in Kamaru, Marty from Nebraska, Usman. I think he's going to KO him. I don't see Usman coming back from being that inactive, because this is active for Leon. Leon was taking 2 years off and still looked great against Bilal before he eye-poked him, man. And looked great against Diaz, and except for the last minute, which everybody talks about, every Diaz fanboy talks about. I just don't think that Usman coming off a long time off, because don't forget how fucking active Usman was. I don't think he's going to come off of that with the disadvantage of being in an away crowd, coming off of a broken hand again, a severe broken hand, and not just in an away crowd, this time it isn't at the elevation. Leon isn't going to gas this time. I feel like Leon's going to win the 1st and the 2nd round, maybe lose the 3rd, and then on his way to winning the 4th and then KO Usman. I got Leon Edwards by 4th round KO. Obviously, I'll go more in-depth breakdown, but yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate you. If you're new, please like, subscribe, share, comment, all that. Even if you're already subscribed, like, share, comment, all that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This is Keep It Real MMA. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.